Hey, so I've just had my dinner and I'm sitting in my conservatory with my hoodie on. So I thought I'd talk about a wee story. So we've all got stories to tell, and I want to talk about Barnevernet. I'm sure there's many people that know about it and many people that don't, if you're not Norwegian. So uh, I had a battle with Barnevernet. They actually took my boys. They didn't take them from me, they took them from my ex. So, long story short, they took them and they took them actually behind my back when I was giving birth to my fourth child. Because once upon a time they did stay with their dad for like a year, and it was really, really sad. I think I was like depressed and down for 3 years. But I was first battling my ex because obviously he protested that I wanted to move from Norway to Scotland. So he basically won in the court case. So I was fighting him for a long time, and then one day I get a phone call. I can't remember if it was a family member that told me. I don't think it was any authorities, but it was a family member that told me that the boys were taken into care. So then proceedings started against them. I actually didn't officially win them in the way you would probably in the UK. I actually kidnapped them. So we were like towards the end of the court case where it was either like win or lose, and I persuaded the psychologist to come to Scotland and take the kids over for a night to assess me with the children. So I managed to do that and they said yes. Barnevernet paid for the flights, they paid for my accommodation to go and pick them up. I had passports for them, which they didn't know about, which I was very blessed to have. So I took them over, and the psychologist did his assessment and he went away in the evening, and then boom, that was it. Chris, my oldest son, he told me how bad him and his brother were treated in care, and he didn't want to go back to Norway. His bones were sticking out of his body, he wasn't fed properly. They were terrified what this woman that was looking after them was going to do when they come back. Apparently, she was quite evil. She'd pushed them down the stairs. She'd fed them horrible food and they wouldn't eat it. She'd like let them scream for hours at night, even she wouldn't comfort them when they missed me. Barnevernet wouldn't let them see me. A little bit of their dad, but they wouldn't let them see me, obviously because they knew I was a good parent. So they didn't want that situation again. So I phoned the church, the Catholic Church. They gave me support. I phoned the police. They gave me support because there was no court order at the time. It was just like an assessment, so I hadn't lost the kids. And then I got support from social workers here, and basically the next day when the psychologist turned up to pick up the kids and me to go to the airport, I left a letter outside my front door stating that me and the kids were not going back. I was not taking them back, and the kids did not want to go back, and I explained the abuse, that they were scared and all that. And basically that got me into a lot of trouble, but it was worth it. I lost a court case in Norway in parallel to me keeping the boys here. I don't know if that was legal, if they could legally have done that, because they weren't physically in the country. And at the time I had all the rights. They were registered in Scotland and all that, which my ex sorted out for me to sign papers. So we assumed they were protected by Scotland. it's actually quite complex to talk about because it's quite a while ago, but this was in February 2017 when I took them, basically, and yeah, they took it to court. I lost court. They threatened saying that Interpol was going to come and get me and lock me up. The kids were going to, get taken from the home and all that. And then I appealed the decision while it went to the Home Secretary office here, and I went to the newspapers and stuff, and I got quite a lot of support. And social workers, I asked them for help, so they supported me. I think they wrote them a letter as well. And then it went to the appeal court, and then I won a temporary decision to keep them here until the final decision was decided, because it was really unstable to take them back and all that, and they were believing what the children had said, especially Chris, because he's the oldest. Obviously Nico was only 4 at the time. So I won that decision. This was in the appeal court, so it's in Scotland you have the sheriff court, so it's one above it. I don't know what it's called. So yeah, it's Tingretten, I think. So when I'd won that temporary decision, a week later, I get a phone call saying that they're just giving me the kids and they're giving it up. They don't think they stand a chance, and then that was it. I mean, it was amazing, a great victory. So yeah, a bit of background information. I'm born in England. I have 2 Norwegian sons, Norwegian born sons. They're half British, half Norwegian. They were born in Norway. I lived in Norway from when I was 9 until I was 23, when I met my husband Paul. So I moved over, and in the process of moving over, obviously I lost the boys to their dad, and that's kind of how it all started. So I'm not Norwegian. I do speak Norwegian. I used to stay there, and that system over there is just not safe. I really do think that they picked on me because I'm foreign, There's a lot of foreigners that get picked on over there because they're different. They're not like Norwegians. They don't do the Norwegian thing. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's still traumatic for me. I'm not completely over it. I was fighting them for a long time. 3 years is a long time. Every day crying, thinking I'm never going to get them back, because most people don't. I believe that there was a God up there that blessed me and my family and brought us together again. I believe in hope. I prayed every day. It was just a miracle that I got them back, so I smile every day and think how lucky I am. But if you're a parent and you ever want to move to Norway, I recommend you not to do it, because